Our guests, it's Maxim, and today we are going to see how you can create reports and analyze data using GoalProfit solution. So let's log in and get into the tool. So we can skip tutorial for now. So you see that we have nothing, it's blank, and we're ready to create our first report. We go to Reports tab. We need to give a name. So you see that there are some reports which already were created before, but we want to create a new one. So let's call it new report. Save. Okay, first what we should do is to think about grouping, how we are going to group data in the report. It depends on the process you need here. So if we're talking about price management or assortment management, the data could be grouped on product, store level, product, zone level. So let's assume that we want to group it on product zone level, pricing zone. As soon as we are going to create a report which helps us to manage prices. So the next, we need to create sections and columns. It's like in a spreadsheet. So let's create a section. For example, product info. What else we need? We need pricing information. We need performance. And we can also add the section like future or forecasts. Okay. So we have 4 sections now. We need to add columns to those sections. So for product info, what we're interested in is product description, brand, pricing line group, price line group. What could be size? So yeah, could be enough for now. For pricing, we want to know what is the current zone price, what is unit cost, what could be recommended price, what could be new price, promo price. So as you see, there are a lot of different types of pricing we can add to this report. Okay, and past performance, let's add sales units, sales value, gross margin excluding VAT, gross margin in percentage, and for forecast we can add sales forecast, sales units forecast, sales value forecast, sales value forecast, sales value forecast, gross margin forecast. Okay, let's that's enough for now. So let's save it. And okay, so we see now a table, spreadsheet. So we can close now report settings and analyze our data. So you see that we have sections, we have columns, we have grouping. So how data is aggregated here. So it's aggregated like an item level and pricing zone. In this case, pricing zone is like a city, Amsterdam and Rotterdam, for demo purposes. So product information, pricing, all this stuff. So what's interesting here is that we can manage this data, and we see how many records we have, and also we can filter this data. So let's try to filter it. So we have different categories here, and wine and soft drinks, you see beer. So what we can start with high-level filters like categories. So we can say that, okay, I want to work only with wine. Okay, system immediately, you see, filter the data here. And if we need more filters, you can also click on plus and say that, okay, I want to analyze only one brand. It could be Bironia. Okay, so yeah, I can have only Bironia here. That's one of option how we can filter. You see that we can filter and or, so like excluding some points. Okay, let's delete this filter and to see again the whole table. We also have filters in column names. So like brand, we can click here and you see that we can filter by value, like in Excel. We also can filter by condition, but it's more applicable for numeric columns. And last easy filter, if you want to see just only Amsterdam, so we can click on Amsterdam, and so you can choose like exclude or keep only. So if we want to keep only, so the system automatically shows the only Amsterdam related data. Okay, so it's clear how to filter data. What else is important here is how you can sort data. So you see that there are some pricings or sales. So you can click on sales and you see sort ascending, descending. So I want to descend and I see the high sales product, and some products you see have no sales information at all. So we can click here and hide 0 rows. So to keep only data where sales to see only products with sales available. So we can also use shift and use 2-level sorting. So we can sort by 2 columns. It's interesting when you want to sort inside the sorting, like sort by brand, and inside the brand sort by sales units. Okay, what else is available here is you can remove all filters if you don't need them. So all filters are removed now. Okay, let's go next. We see the data, we can sort it, we can filter it, and we need to understand what each figure represents, what is time frame of this figure. So we have a product, like it's a wine, chateau, and we have sales units and sales value in euros, in dollars, gross margin, and gross margin percentage. So this is the data for this is financials, right, for the certain period, and we can set up this certain period. You see here today it's where we are now, what is the date of today, so we can change it. So if you want to go in the past or in the future, and from this date we also can put some time frames, like what is the past for us. Now it's just yesterday, so it means that this number 315 represents just one day yesterday. But if you want to more aggregated data, like I want to see last 30 days, so in this case the system automatically recalculate this number according to this time frame. So this number is now represents last 30 days. It's the past, right? Past performance. We also have forecasts. So, and we also can rule for the future, for the past time frame, and for the future we can set a time frame or what will be the future numbers. It's now next 30 days, so we have last 30 days and next 30 days. If we want, we can have like next future week, so we will have next 7 days. In this case we have 0 here. Okay, so it's about time frame, so we can manage time frames easily and to manage this data. So what I'm going to show you is how to create your own KPIs, high-level KPIs to track performance of the category, for example. So you see here I have created one, so I will show you how to create more. So you have a plus here, so you click on the plus, you can put like sales value, select sales value, define the time frame. You see that we can define primary time frame, could be live 30 days, and secondary time frame. We can compare primary metric with a secondary metric, so it could be also sales value, so to compare apples to apples, and we can to compare it not last 30 days but last month, so it will be like months over the months performance. So we create it, so you see now the sales value for wine, and you see that it's growing, which is good for us. So we can now add more, like gross margin excluding VAT, again last 30 days, gross margin excluding VAT, last 30 days. No, let's change last month's, create. So yeah, gross margin is declining dramatically, so which is bad for us. So we can create more. We can create different indexes like competitive price index, sell-through, inventory, distribution. So whatever is important for you, indicators you track, you are motivated on, so you can add here, and it's applicable for the high-level filter. So it's now for wine. If we click, and it will be now the whole business, but we can select here like just beer, and it will be just for beer. So that's how KPIs works. They help us to track performance, and I think the last critical component to analyze data is dynamic performance, so graph. You see here below the word performance, so if you click on it, you will get a small dashboard. So we can add which metrics we want to track dynamically. So let's assume that we care about sales units, and you see immediately the graph for sales units. We need also to track unit gross margin. We want to track total gross margin. It can be sales value as well. We can also price selling price here. So this graph dynamically time series shows you dynamic of different how different metrics are changing in time, and you can see visually elasticity. So you see how price changes impacts on demand, on your profitability. And what's more important here, that this graph is sensitive to the record, to the filter you have here. So for example, if we click on the total record, so total row, which shows aggregated data, you will see all the data aggregated. But if we want to see dynamic for one product store, one product zone aggregation, we can click on it, and you see that immediately shows the specific product zone performance. It's very useful to quickly analyze dynamic data in time, performance in time, and brings you more insights about your business than just looking at the table. Some tips how you can also analyze the data. So I already mentioned that there is a row, total row, which which shows aggregated data. In some cases, it is a sum. So like sales units, it summarized all records here. But in some cases, it makes it average. So for example, if you recommended price, it doesn't make sense to sum prices, but it's much more informative if you make it average. So you understand the average price for all the rows you have here. So if you click wine here, so you now see that what is the average price for all products, zones in wine. And you can also select some rows, like again in Excel spreadsheet, and you see that there is a additional aggregated row which shows you aggregated data for specific selected rows. Also helps you to analyze this data. Thanks a lot. I hope it was useful. If you have any questions, you can chat with support immediately or just contact us any suitable way. Thank you. Have a good day.